Hey, what is going on? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, we have another tier list out here. We've gone over the centers, power forwards, and small forwards already, so if you guys want to check those out, link will be in the description down below. I forgot on the last two tier lists, I apologize, but I will make sure I go through and edit all those so that they're in there. So if you guys are excited for this list, make sure you guys smash the like button down below, and if you guys are new and like what you see, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Slowly working towards that 6.9k. It's looking beautiful. So first off, we have a pretty easy selection, if I do say so myself, with the Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade. Now, while very obviously he is better as a PG, I think he still is nonetheless a S tier PG. I mean, it's Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade. He can do a lot of things really well. Overall, really nice card that I know a lot of people really love, and is one of the only ones I think right now, at least, that's worth moving all the way up in collector level 4. Because Anthony Davis gets a little bit of a boost himself. But next up, we have the Pink Diamond Michael Jordan, who just dropped recently in the fan favorite Series 3 set. If I'm being honest, I'm really not a massive fan of this Pink Diamond Michael Jordan because they gave him gold quick drop. There's one big negative in Jordan is that gold quick drop. Michael Jordan has already a pretty slow release with that MJ jump shot, and giving him only gold is real tough. He has a good on-ball steal tendency, but really doesn't have anything in the contest shot or anything like that I would like. So while he's super quick, nice slasher, and has really good defense other than interior, he really just doesn't jump to me, and I don't think I can have a guy with such a slow jump shot, really anything above the C tier. So that's where Michael is going to end up for me personally. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Nick Young, who is a card that I've been talking about really getting slept on. 6'7" at the 2 guard is actually pretty nice, and overall is a really good card. Now, he has things that I definitely don't like he's missing moving truck and only an 81 strength. So that does really hurt him, if I'm being honest, but I think all the other things that he does really well definitely help him out. He's got a decent on-ball steal tendency of a 90, a pretty good shot contested block shot one is not too bad, and jump shot 26, which I think is a really solid jump shot, especially for a 2 guard, and the Michael Jordan layup package isn't too bad. I think I don't have Nick Young on the same level as this Michael Jordan. I do think he is basically a B tier card. He's really good just overall, missing a thing or two that's going to make him A tier. I feel like if this Nick Young got a higher strength than moving truck, we can move him into A. Other than that, really solid card that I definitely really like, but is nowhere above B. Next up, Pink Diamond Anthony Edwards is beautiful, man. Base 98, the pure base 98. This one is another easy one for me. A tier. Anthony Edwards can just do everything absolutely beautifully. That base 98 is gorgeous, has awesome dribbling animations. He's just a beautiful card. If you guys want a really, cheap, I guess, 2 guard that has a beautiful release, can do everything that you would really want, even has that moving truck on gold, good strength as well. Now, he is undersized at 6'5", which is why I'm keeping him out of the S tier, but is a super nice card. Next up, we have Pink Diamond Jim Jackson. This one's real easy for me. Jim Jackson's going down in the D tier, where somebody like Michael Jordan has a slow release. He still has things like his defense, and the jump shot is slow, but it's still good. Somebody like Jim Jackson has jump shot 1, which is, I know, a jump shot that everybody really hates. His defense is just, he feels a little sluggish. His dribbling moves really just aren't him. Jim Jackson is not really a card that you want to go out there and really run with, So is what it is. Next up, Galaxy Opal Kristaps Porzingis. Now, there's one big thing with Kristaps Porzingis is that he feels a little bit sluggish. Being a 7'3" shooting guard, you kind of expect him to feel a little bit sluggish, but he is 7'3", a massive wingspan, and for his price is actually a pretty good PG, although we don't take budgetness into this account. I don't think that Kristaps is going to be S tier when it comes to our list of shooting guards, but I do think I can confidently put Kristaps Porzingis in the A tier. I think he's a really nice card, but just doesn't feel fast enough for me compared to some other shooting guards. Next up, Galaxy Opal Jaylen Brown, another card that I really like, and I know a lot of people actually are a fan of. I realized in my gameplay I said Jaylen Rose instead of Jaylen Brown quite a lot, so if I messed that up again here, I apologize. But Jaylen is a 6'7" shooting guard with a nice 6'11" wingspan, does a lot of things great. I really like his slashing ability and defense. He has jump shot 75, which is, the Pascal Siakam jump shot. Not one that I'm a massive fan of, if I'm being honest. And I'm going to move Jaylen into the B tier. I feel like he's a really, really solid card, but he doesn't do anything that I guess necessarily makes me push any which way for him. Like, I like Jaylen Brown, but I'm not feeling some type of way about how amazing he is, so he's going to fall down a little bit. Next up, we have the Pink Diamond Quentin Richardson, who's another card that I actually really, really like. I think Quentin Richardson is a beautiful card at 6'6" at the 2, has a really nice jump shot and jump shot 28, some decent dribbling moves, but not ones that I think I want my 2 guard to have. I kind of prefer my 2 guards to be a little bit cheesy, play their own defense, do that sort of thing. And Quentin Richardson just is good per se for a lot of his, dribbling moves. They're just not exactly insane, and his tendencies for defense really are just awful, so he just doesn't feel like the most insane defender. Again, lacking that moving truck and no real interior defense or strength to kind of block people. So running method 2, if you go against this guy like a Kristaps, Quentin Richardson is getting pumped. I think I'm going to put him down in C, similar to that of Michael Jordan, but I definitely still really like him and think he is a, honestly, really solid card that some people gotta try out. Next up, Pink Diamond David Wesley, kind of just a troll card we put in here, but he's getting his ass down into D tier with everybody else. David Wesley, he's too small, man. He's just too small. David Wesley, I'm pretty sure, is like a 6-foot PG, so even if you're running with the PG, I really don't recommend him. A 6-foot shooting guard is just tough. A 6-foot PG, his defensive tendencies are really good, and he has the Dwayne Wade base, which is nice. The James Harden layup package, no dunking, no post game, no interior, no strength, no anything like that. He really can't be anything but the D tier. Next up, the Galaxy Apple Tony Allen is also getting his ass down into D tier. Tony Allen just is not a card that I like. He's 6'4" at the 2, which already is super undersized for me. Unlike somebody like Dwayne Wade, who's super quick, awesome defense, beautiful jump shot, and can slash the basket great. Tony Allen has one of the worst jump shots for a 2 guard, has really good defense, but other than that, he's like a black hole on offense. You really just can't score with him, and it just feels almost non-existent. Next up, Galaxy Apple Steve Smith, who's just a better version of this Jimmy Butler. I don't think a better version of Jimmy Butler enough to move him into S tier, but I still think Steve Smith's a very solid A tier kind of card. And that's just because I'm not the most massive fan of the Steve Smith Jimmy Butler duo, but great card. Nice 6'8" size, beautiful jump shot 22, and overall is a really, really solid card. Next up, Rip Hamilton, who I think has jump shot 40 just like a Nicholas Batum or stuff like that. 6'6", again, really good defense, good shooting ability, beautiful catch and shoot jump shot if I do say so myself. That jump shot 40 off catch is a masterpiece. I'm just not the biggest fan of it off dribble, and I think Rip Hamilton can fit very solidly into B tier. Kind of serves the same purpose as like Nick Young, beautiful catch and shoot guy, play some defense, and that's really about it. Next up, the Galaxy Opal Anthony Edwards, also going up into S tier, equal with that of Dwayne Wade. If I'm being honest, I prefer Anthony Edwards over Dwayne Wade. I just feel more comfortable using Edwards because I like, the base 98 just a little bit more than, the Dwayne Wade base. I know they're very similar, but 98 just feels a little bit better to me personally, just like I know other people like the Wade one better. So Anthony Edwards for me is a step above Dwayne Wade just a little bit, but they're both easily in it to the S tier. Next up is a card that I think is getting pretty slept on, but that is the technically Galaxy Opal Stacey Augmon. Now, he is a pink diamond beforehand, but when you add the Evo up to him, he goes from 20 gold badges, 33 Hall of Fame badges, to 11 gold badges, 43 Hall of Fame badges. So my man gains a total of 10 Hoff badges as well as 1 gold badge, that 1 gold badge being floor general, and he goes up to like Hoff range extender. He gets Hall of Fame Giant Slayer, such better shooting, Hall of Fame Dimer, better defense. Now, there is one thing that I still don't like about the fact that or after Stacey Augmon's Evo, and that's he doesn't get moving truck. You guys know I'm a big proponent of getting that moving truck so you can kind of hold guys, like Kristaps, if you go against those taller players, away. But Stacey Augmon is a 6'8" PG, 6'11" wingspan, has the jump shot 40 base, some pretty decent tendencies for like freaking test shot. Not the greatest on-ball steal, but that's okay. Long athlete, and just overall really good player. I think I'm going to move Stacey Augmon up to the A tier. As a pink diamond, he's down into B, but I think as an opal, I can slip him in just slightly into the A tier. Next up, we have the Galaxy Opal Corey Maggette, who is basically Jimmy Butler and Steve Smith because of that jump shot 22, just with worse dribbling animations, so I think he can go into B tier. I feel like Corey Maggette, again, just has a beautiful catch-and-shoot jump shot with that jump shot 22. Good defense, but I really don't feel, I feel some type of way about his dribble sigs that just don't really feel that amazing to me, so a B tier is where I'm going to land him. Next up is Galaxy Opal Eddie Jones, a card that I think is a very solid A tier kind of shooting guard, and even now is starting to get pretty cheap, which is making Eddie Jones a better budget option by the day. 6'6", beautiful size, nice 6'9" wingspan, can do everything really great. Defense, finishing at the basket, super quick, and nice jump shot of jump shot 31, which is like you know, Jason Richardson, Jackson Hayes, that kind of thing. Beautiful jump shot. Definitely recommend picking up that Eddie Jones. Next up is Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade, which is just a slightly, and I mean slightly worse version of that Dwayne Wade. If we're being honest, it's barely different. You know, that Dwayne Wade from the Prime Series has 54 Hall of Fame badges, and the collector level has 59 Hall of Fame badges, so there's really almost no difference. And low-key, both insane cards, easy S tier selection there. Next up, we have Darrell Griffith, who honestly isn't bad, but he's not a card that I think really, again, jumps out to me. He has jump shot 40, you know, the Nick Batum base, I guess, which is really good. Some decent dribbling animations, and overall, really not too bad of a card, but as a budget option, I think we can talk B to A tier, but as a general shooting guard, I don't like him, and I think I'm going to have to throw him to C. Better PG than he is a 2-guard, and obviously I'm ranking and reflecting that, but overall, not a guy that I'm really rooting for to have on my team. Next up, Galaxy Opal George Gervin. Again, another mid-tier selection. Good jump shot 40 base, good defense, good finishing ability. I hate his layup animations. They're some of the worst in the game, but again, doesn't do anything to me that absolutely offends me, but doesn't do anything that I absolutely love. So next up is the Galaxy Opal Jerry Stackhouse, who is basically the same guy as our Jim Jackson, just a little bit beefier, and that is because they both have jump shot 1, which is not a jump shot that many people are very fond of, but Jerry Stackhouse is really just a beefier version of our Jim Jackson. Has not great defensive tendencies, if we're being honest, but the good long athlete layup package, some decent dribbling animations, and just a lot beefier stats, including a gold moving truck. I don't think he is so bad that I'm going to have to put him down to D tier with Jim Jackson, but I think he has just enough boosts above Jim to throw him in to C. So if you, for some reason, like jump shot 1 and want a 2-guard like that, go with Jerry Stackhouse instead of Jim Jackson, but I would highly recommend using a different card. Next up, Galaxy Opal Demar Derozan. Again, very easy S tier selection. The Treyberg base, basically a reskin to T-Mac at the 2-guard. It's just a beautiful, beautiful card. Absolutely love him, and everybody should want him on their team. Now, next up is Galaxy Opal Glenn Rice, who, as time's gone on, I'm really liking a little bit less and less. And I think the only reason that, you know, Glenn Rice is really holding up in there at that S tier spot is just because of that Dwayne Wade base. Is, you know, on-ball steal tendency is not great, but his contest shot and block shot are good. Everything about him is still pretty good, so I think we can keep Glenn Rice in it to S tier. But for some reason, as the days go on, I start ranking him a little bit less and less. But you can't deny how OP the Dwayne Wade base or base 98 are in the game. It's just absolutely beautiful. So next up, we have the Galaxy Opal Victor Oladipo, who as a PG isn't too bad, but as a shooting guard isn't really one that I would, I guess, want on my team. But that's just me personally. Again, lacking the moving truck, only 6'4", has the jump shot 95, which is just basically a Victor Oladipo jump shot. It's kind of similar to that of like a jump shot 40, but in my opinion, a worse version. His dribbling animations are okay. They're not great. So I'm honestly kind of leaning towards Victor Oladipo into the C tier. Might be a bit of a blasphemous one there, but Oladipo is just not a guy that I really want at my 2-guard position ever. Next up, Galaxy Able Dirk Nowitzki, going B tier, and that's only because, honestly, Dirk's jump shot's super slow. He feels super slow and sluggish, like Kristaps Porzingis, but as soon as you get, a 2-guard into the post, this Dirk is going to score every single time unless they're like, 6'9", half-moving truck, absolutely crazy, and Dirk just pieces people in the post. I never really would run this Dirk card if I'm being honest, but with how OP he can be for certain play styles, absolutely insane. Next up, Galaxy with Klay Thompson, throwing him into the S tier. Klay Thompson's one of the best catch and shoot guys in the game. If you want just like a pure cone, Steve Smith, Klay Thompson, and Jimmy Butler are beautiful for that. They catch and shoot beautifully, play awesome defense all around, and just overall really, really good cards. Next up, Galaxy with Michael Jordan, easily going into the S tier, where I've left him off my last few shooting guards lists, like top 10 shooting guards, because I think you should be running this Michael Jordan almost always at the PG position unless you have somebody like maybe LeBron James who can't play at the 2-guard. Almost always you want this Michael at the PG instead of the 2 just because he's so much better there. It's just a beautiful card, amazing defense, GOAT card, all 99s, 63 Hoff badges. Gotta love it. Next up, Galaxy with J.R. Smith at base 49. Jump shot, beautiful dribbling animations, and some pretty good overall dunking on everybody's head. Just beautiful, beautiful. I know a lot of people love this J.R. Smith card. I think he's just under that S tier level into A, but is still a really, really solid card that, he doesn't offend me. He doesn't offend me at all. Next up, we have the Galaxy Opal Mitch Richmond, who isn't one of those guys who's, 6'5", doesn't really, I guess, offend me too much, but isn't really one that I absolutely love. Has jump shot 114, which I'm pretty sure is a jump shot that only he has, and it's not too bad. Dribbling animations are right. His defensive tendencies really just aren't great. But again, a card that doesn't really offend me, so I'm going to throw him into B tier. But I'm not jumping all around about how much I love, Mitch Richmond. Next up is Galaxy Opal Kobe Bryant, who is a card that you gotta love. Galaxy Opal Kobe, 6'6" at the 2, almost all 99 stats, has 61 Hall of Fame badges. But the thing that holds this Kobe back compared to other ones is that this Kobe actually doesn't have like any juiced up defensive tendencies. With all of the other GOAT cards, they have basically like all 95 or above on their tendencies with 0 on the draw foul. And Kobe just doesn't have that, so I think Kobe goes into A. If he had a higher contest shot than the 33 that he has, I feel like he'd be a beautiful, beautiful GOAT card. But with those tendencies being as low as they are on defense, it definitely hurts him. And next up is Galaxy Opal Donovan Mitchell, a card that honestly I'm not riding the wave on. I'm not too big of a fan. He's significantly better as a PG, and for that I'm going to rank him again into the C tier, like a Victor Oladipo. You shouldn't be running him at the 2. You should be running him at the PG. He's 6'3". He's really undersized. He's not a guy that you want to be running, your 2-guard. You definitely want him as the PG instead. Next up, Galaxy Opal Jamal Crawford, a card that I absolutely love. You guys know Jamal's journey. Jamal is just he's my baby. Absolutely love him. 6'5" at the 2-guard is great. You want to run him at the PG though. And a 6'10" wingspan, which is something that I think really helps him. But he's got no strength or interior defense, and that really kills him, and no sort of defensive, stats. But as a Treyberg base, which is beautiful, and I think is one of the main things that is keeping him a insane card despite having such a tiny player build. I'm throwing Jamal in the B. I think he's a very high B tier player. I'm not going to have him in A, and that's just because I feel like as time goes on, his defense just gets like suckier and suckier, I guess. Next up, Galaxy Opal Clyde Drexler, another B tier card. Again, he's a card who doesn't really throw me too much in this or that direction, but does what he needs to do, slashes the basket, plays some defense, hit the occasional 3, but isn't, making me jump for joy at how amazing he is. Next up, Pink Diamond, Michael Redd, who is another card that I actually really, really like. Michael Redd, he's just a beautiful card. When it comes to shooting the ball just cleanly, Michael Redd has one of the best jump shots with that Ray Allen base, has some decent defending tendencies. They're not insane, but they're definitely not too bad. His dribbling animations aren't the greatest, but again, if you're looking for that, pure cone where you want him in the game to, catch and shoot, play some good defense, I think he's got you with that and is going up into the A tier. Next up, Galaxy Opal James Harden, a card that I've really never been a big fan of. He's always felt mid-tier to me. I feel like the highest I've ever had this James Harden is like an S tier. I mean, A tier, sorry. Never really breaking into the S, and I think nowadays he's definitely down there in A. The James Harden release is just way too slow. It's just not one that I want my players having. Like that Diamond J Crowder, he came out there, and I feel like if he had anything but that sort of jump shot, he'd be an absolute budget beast, killing it. But he's not for me. Next up, we have a Galaxy Opal Bradley Beal, another beautiful Ray Allen, jump shot base shooting guard that can do a lot of great things. But what I've been saying is that this pink diamond Michael Red is basically Bradley Beal, just reskinned a little bit differently. So if you're going to pick up one of them, definitely go ahead and pick up the, Michael Red, because Bradley Beal is basically the exact same thing. So I will throw Beal at A because of that, but I don't really see a reason to be snagging Beal for anybody that is thinking about it. Next up, Galaxy Zach Lavine, fitting solidly into the B tier, which is blasphemous, but I love this Galaxy Zach Lavine card, but I understand that his strength is a little bit lower. I know a lot of people that say that they can't play defense with him. They feel like he is just a pup in the paint, and personally haven't felt that too much. I think he's a great card overall, but he is a little bit weak, so sometimes he can't get popped. I will say that. But defensively, if they're not backing you down, I haven't really felt too much of an issue with Zach Lavine, but he is getting very outdated at this point in the year. Next up, we have a Galaxy Opal Allen Iverson, who's getting his ass down into D tier, simply because, again, we want this Allen Iverson to be run at the PG position, not at the 2 guard. He's just not great as a 2 guard at all. Like, we don't want him at the 2. 6 foot, no thank you. Next up, Galaxy Tracy McGrady, beautiful, going into the wonderful S tier. The leap year T-Mac, if I'm being honest, again, like Glenn Rice, is slowly losing my favoritism. I think eventually we're going to be moving T-Mac down to A. The only thing that's really holding him there is that Trey Burke base, but T-Mac has no interior defense and really not great strength, so he gets popped quite a bit. So again, if you're going against these Kristaps, Porzingis, Dirk Nowitzki type players that can have really high strength, that can back you down like crazy, T-Mac is going to feel like a pup, but overall, not a bad card. Next up, Galaxy Opal Vince Carter, going into C tier for me. I've said this multiple times, and I will keep consistent with it. I hate this Vince Carter's release, so you'll never see me throw him any higher than C. It's just way too baited of a release that I feel like everybody can just get out there and contest it super well. We need a Vince Carter with off quick draw to kind of redeem him and play the PG position. I think when we get that sort of Opal Vince Carter, we'll be beautiful, we'll be set. But as it is right now, not a card that I'm really looking to pick up. Next up, Galaxy Opal Michael Jordan, easy into the A tier for me. Michael Jordan is never a card that I think I'm gonna, this certain one right here is never gonna be a card that I throw into S tier, because again, a gold quick draw on that Michael Jordan release, or just that Michael Jordan release in general, just isn't the greatest, but you can get away with it when you have 63 beautiful Hall of Fame badges, and play the PG position. So when you do that slight little change, he gets up there. But this All-Star moments, Michael Jordan definitely ain't too bad. Next up is Galaxy Opal Brandon Roy, who I'm throwing into the S tier. After this Evo update, Brandon Roy is finally back to being a top PG again. He's similar to that of DeMar DeRozan and Tracy McGrady. I feel like he's actually a little bit better than this leap year T-Mac now, because just beautiful Trey Burke base, beautiful dribbling animations. He can dunk over everybody's head, play good defense, just do everything great. I love this Brandon Roy. Definitely give him a try. And Galaxy Opal Ray Allen, again, after the Evo update, I feel like has moved up a tier. Would originally have been B for me, but now is sitting there nice and pretty into the A tier after that Evo update. Is a beautiful card, definitely one that I recommend. And overall, that Evo update was a beast, because it gave us Ray Allen and Brandon Roy back up to their former glory. So this is what we have for our shooting guards tier list. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys liked if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 6.9K. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next video.